Okay, and here we go. A video to show the difference between transducers and speakers. The speakers are already mounted on my frames. They should be really loud, but for some reason in this model it doesn't work very well. But what we'll do, we'll just fire the transducers up first to make sure they work. I'll then pause the video, glue them in the fuselage, and hopefully run both sets together to see what the difference is. So I've got the power on here. As you can see, I've just got a simple board. It's a spare board. Two Mr. RC Sound TT25s. These work. They've got to be glued to a surface, so really they shouldn't make a lot of noise. They'll just bounce up and down. But as you can see, I've got a 6S battery feeding the board. That's to power the speakers themselves. I've just got an old receiver and a battery and a power supply. And I've got my old transmitter as well, by the way, just to get it working. So what I'll do, I've just got to rig up the retract switch. I'll flick it twice, which will get a voice on.
Reunion Tower, Skyhawk 6525 Delta is ready for takeoff.
Skyhawk 6525 Delta, Reunion Tower, cross runway 31 right, hold short runway 31 left.
Cross runway 31 right, hold short of 31 left, Skyhawk 25 Delta.
Delta 25 Delta, total departure runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 31 left, Skyhawk 25 Delta.
As you can see, they're jumping around here. They're not doing much, and the volume's not that good anyway. But this is the engine file, which I've modified to suit my own needs, because the original file took a minute to start up. So I've speeded things up and chopped and changed the files. This is my startup file. What I'll do, see here I've glued two wood, it's only like 3mm light ply wood rings to the fuselage. You want the picker brace, which is the most flexible. As you can see, it acts like a diaphragm, but I've bonded these on with a flexible glue. Tips for glue, I've tried epoxy, I've tried super glue, but it's too brittle. And I've found this works very well. It's called Shockwave. You've got to leave it 24 hours, but it's a flexible, very strong glue. So I recommend you use that. But anyway, what happens is the TT25s, I've just rubbed the backs with sandpaper. They'll super glue to the wood, which will get a good bond. And the wood bonds the fiberglass with the flexible glue. So as you can see here, there's a mechanics, which you've got the speakers in. It's got another board in. They've both got the same files. So what I'll do, I'll glue these in and I'll get back to you. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. I have glued the transducers onto the wood, which is inside the fuselage. I've mounted the mechanics again with the speakers on, which is the way it used to be. Which, as you can see, I've draped the wires out from the back to my second cord. So I've literally got two sound systems in, both with the same sound file. See, two transmitters. And what we can do is compare the sound levels. I've got this little device here to cheap and nasty sound meter off eBay, which measures in dB. I think you should normally measure these somewhere like a metre away, so I'll just place it somewhere and we can do a test. So let's see where we're going to put it. I'll tell you, I'll just put it local. Yeah, so we'll look at the figures when it's running. So whilst I'm talking, you can see the dB is changing, it's picking up my voice, etc, etc. So first test, we'll do the pilot chat with the speakers. That's the original setup. So let's see, the switch is on the bottom on this one, so here we go. This is the pilot chat with speakers.
Reviewing tower, Skyhawk 6525 Delta is ready for takeoff.
Skyhawk 6525 Delta, read tower, cross runway 31 right, and short runway 31 left.
Cross runway 31 right, hold short of 31 left, Skyhawk 25 Delta.
Delta 25 Delta, straight at departure, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 31 left, Skyhawk 25 Delta.
So looking at that, we're picking about 93. So we'll now do the second transmitter, which is the transducers.
Reviewing tower, Skyhawk 6525 Delta is ready for takeoff.
Skyhawk 6525 Delta, read tower, cross runway 31 right, and short runway 31 left.
Cross runway 31 right, hold short of 31 left, Skyhawk 25 Delta.
Delta 25 Delta, straight at departure, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 31 left, Skyhawk 25 Delta.
Now the voice isn't as clear, but it's definitely louder. So what we're going to do now is try the engine startup. First one with the speakers, and we'll get a sound. Bear in mind, when it's in flight, I would think the sounders, the transducer would make a louder sound because the fuselage acts as a speaker. But we'll try the speakers first. Okay, and I'm sure I saw 104 dB at one point, but we'll try the transducers on the other transmitter. We'll try that. Well, it's definitely louder. I'm quite surprised, I'm sure. So 106, 107. And I'm sure for every 3 dB that you go up, it's twice as loud. So you know, it's a lot of vibration there, but you'll not hear that in flight. You know, that's actually happening here because it's standing on a bench. I'm quite pleased with the results. I think I'll be taking the speakers out, and on this one use the transducers, but that doesn't apply to every model. Me Huey, both speakers are in a box, which sounds like a proper speaker box, you know what I mean, and that's very loud. But this has changed this remarkably. I will be keeping the transducers in. I've lost 6 ounces in weight by doing it. It's a no-brainer in my eyes, but just a few tips before I go off. If you notice the speaker wires and your power wires, always twist them, because you don't want any RF coming off the board interfering with your radio signal. But I've had no problems here. I'm running 2 receivers next to each other and 2 separate radios, and I've had no problems at all. But I think that test is conclusive that and the right application, which I've used them on some of my foam planes, they sound mega loud. And even on a fiberglass, providing it's not too rigid, you will get a good sound and not as heavy. You can fit in a tight space. So to me, it's been a successful test. But the next video, what we'll do, we'll have a look at the sound files themselves. Unfortunately, the boards I have are the Shockwave 2 modules. I've ordered 2 Shockwave 3 modules, which will take a week to come or so, which I'll be doing a video on them. But what I can do is show you how to work these. It'll be very similar with both models. How you change your sound, for instance, you know, and simple things like that. Where, because when you get this board, it'll have a number of, if you pick, say, a helicopter sound, it'll have a helicopter sound on it, and it'll probably have all the helicopters. And to change it, it's just a matter of changing a text file, which I'll show you how to do that, so you can have any heli sound you want on. If you order an aircraft one, it'll probably be full of planes, same applies. But over the years, I've collected all the files, so I can put anything on. I even have tanks and ships. And I've downloaded a lot of files which you can convert. You could download an MP3 file from anywhere and create a sound file with it. I'll show you how to do that later. But today's test over. I think we can say that the transducers are much louder. Thanks for your time. See you next time.